نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم يوم تبيض وجوه وتسود وجوه فأما الذين سودت وجوههم وكفرتم بعد إيمانكم فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون وأما الذين ابيضت وجوههم ففي رحمة الله هم فيها خالدون تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وما الله يريد ظلما للعالمين ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خيرا لهم منهم المؤمنون وأكثرهم الفاسقون لن يضروكم إلا أذى وإن يقاتلوكم يولوكم الأدبار ثم لا ينصرون ضربت عليهم الذلة أينما ثقفوا إلا بحبل من الله وحبل من الناس وباءوا بغضب من الله وضربت عليهم المسكنة ذلك بأنهم كانوا يكفرون بآيات الله ويقتلون الأنبياء بغير حق ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون ليسوا سواء من أهل الكتاب أمة قائمة يتلون آيات الله أناء الليل وهم يسجدون يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر ويسارعون في الخيرات وأولئك من الصالحين وما يفعل من خير فلن يكفروه والله عليم بالمتقين إن الذين كفروا لن تغني عنهم عنه أمواله ولا أولاده من الله شيئا وأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون مثل ما ينفقون في هذه الحياة الدنيا كمثل ريح فيها سر أصابته حرث قوم ظلموا أنفسهم فأهلكته وما ظلمهم الله ولكن أنفسهم يظلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا بطانة من دونكم لا يعلونكم خبالا ودوا ما عنيتم قد بدت البغضاء من أفواههم وما تخفي صدورهم أكبر قد بينا لكم الآيات إن كنتم تعقلون أنتم أولئك تحبونهم ولا يحبونكم وتؤمنون بالكتاب كله وإذا لقوكم قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا عدوا عليكم الأنامل من الغيظ قل موتوا بغيظكم إن الله عليم بذات الصدور إن تمسسكم حسنة تسوهم وإن تصبكم سيئة يفرحوا بها وإن تصبروا وتتقوا لا يضركم كيدهم شيئا إن الله بما يعملون محيط وإذ غدوت من أهلك تبوئ المؤمنين مقاعد للقتال والله سميع عليم إذ همت طائفتان منكم أن تفشل والله وليهما وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون ولقد نصركم الله ببدر وأنتم أذلة فاتقوا الله لعلكم تشكرون إذ تقول للمؤمنين ألن يكفيكم أن يمدكم ربكم بثلاثة آلاف من الملائكة منزلين بلى إن تصبروا وتتقوا ويأتوكم من فوره آثار يمددكم ربكم بخمسة آلاف من الملائكة مسومين وما جعله الله إلا بشرا لكم ولتطمئن قلوبكم به وما النصر إلا من عند الله العزيز الحكيم ليقطع طرفا من الذين كفروا أو يكبتهم فينقلبوا خائبين ليس لك من الأمر شيء أو يتوب عليهم أو يعذبهم فإنهم ظالمون ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض يغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله غفور رحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا تأكلوا ربا أضعافا مضاعفا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون واتقوا النار التي أعدت للكافرين وأطيعوا الله ورسوله لعلكم ترحمون وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم ومن يغفر الذنوب إلا الله ولم يصروا على ما فعلوا وهم يعلمون أولئك جزاؤهم مغفرة من ربهم وجنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ونعم أجر العاملين قد خلت من قبلكم سنن فسيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين وهذا بيان للناس وهدى وموعظة للمتقين ولا تهنوا ولا تحزنوا وأنتم الأعلون إن كنتم مؤمنين إن يمسسكم قرح فقد مس القوم قرح مثله وتلك الأيام نداولها بين الناس وليعلم الله الذين آمنوا ويتخذ منكم شهداء والله لا يحب الظالمين وليمحص الله الذين آمنوا ويمحق الكافرين أم حسبت أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يعلم الله الذين جاهدوا منكم ويعلم الصابرين ولقد كنتم تمنون الموت من قبل أن تلقوه فقد رأيتموه وأنتم تنظرون وما محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل أفإن مات أو قتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم ومن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله الشاكرين وما كان لنفس أن تموت إلا بإذن الله كتابا مؤجلا ومن يرد ثواب الدنيا نؤتيه منها ومن يرد ثواب الآخرة نؤتيه منها وسنجزي الشاكرين وكأي من نبي قاتل معه ربيون كثير فما وانوا لما أصابهم في سبيل الله وما ضعفوا وما استكانوا والله يحب الصابرين وما كان قولهم إلا أن قالوا ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. فآتاهم الله ثواب الدنيا وحسن ثواب الآخرة والله يحب المحسنين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تطيعوا الذين كفروا يردوكم على أعقابكم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. بل الله مولاكم وهو خير الناصرين. سنلقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب بما أشركوا بالله ما لم ينزل به سلطانا ومأواهم النار وبئس مثوى الظالمين. ولقد صدقكم الله وعده إذ تحسونه بإذنه حتى إذا فشلتم وتنزعتم في الأمر وعصيتم من بعد ما أراكم ما تحبون منكم من يريد الدنيا ومنكم من يريد الآخرة ثم صرفكم عنهم ليبتليكم ولقد عفا عنكم والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين. إذ تصعدون ولا تلئون على أحد والرسول يدعوكم في أخراكم فأثابكم غما بغم لكي لا تحزنوا على ما فاتكم ولا ما أصابكم والله خبير بما تعملون. ثم أنزل عليكم من بعد الغم أمنة نعاسا يغشى طائفة منكم والطائفة قد أهمتهم. ثم أنزل عليكم من بعد الغم أمنة نعاسا يغشى طائفة منكم وطائفة قد أهمتهم أنفسهم يظنون بالله غير الحق ظن الجاهلية يقولون هل لنا من الأمر من شيء قل إن الأمر كله لله يخفون في أنفسهم ما لا يبدون لك يقولون لو كان لنا من الأمر شيء ما قتلنا هاهنا قل لو كنتم في بيوتكم لبرز الذين كتب عليهم القتل إلى مضاجعهم وليبتلي الله ما في صدوركم وليمحص ما في قلوبكم والله عليم بذات الصدور. إن الذين تولوا منكم يوم التقى الجمعان إنما استزلهم الشيطان ببعد ما كسبوا ولقد عفا الله عنهم إن الله غفور حليم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تكونوا كالذين كفروا وقالوا لإخوانهم إذا ضربوا في الأرض أو كانوا غزا لو كانوا عندنا ما ماتوا وما قتلوا ليجعل الله ذلك حسرة في قلوبهم والله يحيي ويميت والله بما تعملون بصير. ولئن قتلت في سبيل الله أو متم لمغفرة من الله ورحمة خير مما يجمعون. ولئن متم أو قتلتم لإلى الله تحشرون. فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك فاعف عنهم واستغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين. إن ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم وإن يخذلكم فمن ذا الذي ينصركم من بعد وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون. وما كان لنبي أن يغل ومن يغل يأت بمن غل يوم القيامة ثم توفى كل نفس ما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون. أفمن اتبع رضوان الله كمن باء بسخط من الله ومأواه جهنم وبئس المصير. هم درجات عند الله والله بصير بما يعملون. لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. أولما أصابتكم مصيبة قد أصبتم مثلها قلتم أن هذا قل هو من عند أنفسكم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. وما أصابكم يوم التقى الجمعان فبإذن الله وليعلم المؤمنين وليعلم الذين نافقوا وقيل له تعالوا قاتلوا في سبيل الله أو ادفعوا قالوا لو نعلم قتالا لاتبعناكم هم للكفر يومئذ أقرب منهم للإيمان يقولون بأفواههم ما ليس في قلوبهم والله أعلم بما يكتمون. الذين قالوا لإخوانهم وقعدوا لو أطاعونا ما قتلوا قل فادرءوا عن أنفسكم الموت إن كنتم صادقين ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم ألا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون يستبشرون بنعمة من الله وفضل وأن الله لا يضيع أجر المؤمنين الذين استجابوا لله والرسول من بعد ما أصابهم القرح للذين أحسنوا منهم واتقوا أجر عظيم الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل صدق الله مولانا العظيم.
Jazakallah khair, my brother. That was a very wonderful recitation of the Holy Quran, and I want to thank Imam Yahaya from Chicago for providing us with that inspirational and beautiful recitation of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Now I would like to introduce our Imam, Imam Suraj Abu Bakar. He will present the welcome address. Imam.
نؤمن به ولا نكفره ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله خاتم الأنبياء وإمام المرسلين خير البرية صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, all exaltation and praise be to Almighty Allah. We praise Almighty Allah for His might and power. We praise Almighty Allah for He has guided us to this straight path. We praise Almighty Allah that has blessed humankind with Islam. We wouldn't have been guided to this straight path had Almighty Allah not been guided us. We bear the witness that this Almighty Allah is the only one worth of being worshipped. And we also bear the witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Allah's messenger, the last and the seal of prophets, the best human being ever lived on earth. May the peace and blessing of Allah be showered upon Muhammad, his household, his companion, the rightly guided people, and may the peace of Allah and His blessing to be upon as well as those who follow Prophet Muhammad's guidelines till the day of judgment. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I thank Almighty Allah on my behalf, and I thank Almighty Allah on behalf of everyone in this masjid tonight for allowing us to witness the event of tonight, to allowing us to share from the barakah, the blessing of the gathering of tonight. Because the gathering of tonight is a gathering of thank, it's a gathering in which we like to show our appreciation to Almighty Allah for establishing this masjid. and for being with us all along, helping us out to keep this masjid going. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, tonight's gathering is a gathering of knowledge. Because in our midst tonight, we have some imams who are here, prominent imams, honorable imams, well known in New York and all over the United States. At the same time, brothers, we thank Almighty Allah who has helped our Imam to be here tonight, for accepting our invitation. It is very clear that their acceptance of our invitation is a sign of their clear intention to spread Islam. It's a devotion that they have for Almighty Allah and the love they have for Islam and for Muslims in general. They are going to share their knowledge with us tonight. We are going to benefit from the knowledge that Almighty Allah has blessed them with. All these imams, brothers and sisters, came from far distance simply because they love us, simply because they want to share their knowledge with us tonight, and simply because they want to be part of commemoration of the first year anniversary of this masjid. On behalf of myself, the management of this masjid, and the entire Muslim community of Coney Island, I say to the Imam, I welcome them to this masjid, and I welcome every one of us who are here tonight in order to participate in this gathering of barakah, saying, Marhaba bikum ahlan wa sahlan, Marhaba bikum ahlan wa sahlan, Marhaba bikum ya khayr al-a'imma. We welcome you to your masjid. We welcome you to the masjid of the Muslims in Coney Island. We welcome you among your brothers and sisters who are Muslim, to whom you have dedicated your life, to whom you have dedicated your knowledge, to whom you have dedicated everything that you do in the cause of Almighty Allah. Before I proceed further, brothers and sisters, I would like to mention a few words about this masjid. Masjid Bab-Us-Salam, the masjid sent the entrance of the peace, or gate of peace. Masjid Bab-Us-Salam. A year ago, brothers and sisters, this masjid was not in readiness. We were in preparation, looking for a location, trying to find a place. And Almighty Allah eventually blessed us with this very place in which we are here today. Brothers, this masjid has passed through a rough road. This masjid has experienced a very hard financial problems. But all along, Almighty Allah, being the one who chose the masjid by himself, being the one who inspired our management to be courageous. Almighty Allah preserve this masjid, and we have been going all along, and Almighty Allah has been in help with us. We thank Almighty Allah for that. And we thank all those who have been helping this masjid out. We thank all those who have been rescuing us whenever we are in need. Brothers, even though our goal is still far ahead, our destination is still far from being reaching. But Hamdan wa Shukr Allah, we thank Almighty Allah that we have made a step forward. And the good starting has shown us that we are going to have a happy end, inshallah. This masjid, brothers and sisters, is open for every Muslim, men and women in this community and some other community who can also come to this masjid to perform the duty of Almighty Allah. I will seize this opportunity after thanking Almighty Allah, after showing our appreciation to Almighty Allah. I will also thank the management of this masjid, because they have done a lot. They have gone far in cleaning this masjid, in making the masjid be tidy, in helping in the program of the masjid, and they have been keeping the masjid all along going on. I seize this opportunity to thank them. And I seize this opportunity to thank every brothers and sisters in Islam that has been participating in this masjid, financially and physically. And I ask Almighty Allah to be with you. I ask Almighty Allah to help you where you are in need. I ask Almighty Allah to give you the strength, the wealth with which you will worship Almighty Allah. And I pray to Almighty Allah to please guide us to the straight path and to be with us in whatever step we take and to guide us to the straight path. I pray to Almighty Allah to please count us among those whom He loved. I pray to Almighty Allah to please preserve us, to preserve us so that we can worship Almighty Allah for a long time. I pray to Almighty Allah to please help us to keep our mind clean. I pray to Almighty Allah to please help us to be able to be spending our belongings, our time, our money in the cause of Almighty Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One more time, my brothers and sisters in Islam, I welcome you all to this commemoration. I welcome you all to this masjid of yours. I welcome you all to this Masjid Bab-Us-Salam, the gate of peace. Takbir, Allahu Akbar. Takbir, Allahu Akbar. Takbir, Allahu Akbar.
I want to thank the Imam for providing us with that welcome address. We would like to move right along with our program. Now we would have Quranic recitation from Masjid Bab-Us-Salam Islamic class. And I would like the young children to please come forward so that you may have the opportunity to show the people what you have learned. Because remember, you didn't know anything about Al-Islam, you didn't know how to read Quran, but our Imam took the time on the weekends to come in and teach you what you were supposed to learn from the beginning of your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want you to say your name and then proceed with the recitation of the Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Rafat Sani, and I would like to recite to you a surah from the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Zilzal. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره صدق الله العلي العظيم. I would also like to tell you what Muslims should do every day. Establish Salat every day on time, remember Allah in our activities, respect our parents, be kind and nice to our neighbors and friends, respect the elderly, and be helpful to the needy. Assalamu alaikum Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Fatima Sila. I would like to recite to you a tashahud. At-tahiyatu lillahi, az-zakiyatu lillahi, at-tayyibatu salawatu lillahi. Assalamu alaikum Ayyuhan Nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihina.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my name is Isa Silla, and I would like to recite to you Surah Al-Fatiha. Yujubillahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-rahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin.
Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Moshimin Sani. I would like to recite one ayah from the Holy Quran, Surah As. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hi, my name is Rashidat Suleiman. I would like to recite to you Surah Al-Nazr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mansoor Suleiman. I would like to talk to you about Islam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Islam is a religion of Allah. Islam means peace. Islam has 5 pillars of its pillars. The 5 pillars are believe in Allah and Prophet Muhammad, pray 5 times daily, giving of zakat, fasting in Ramadan, and performance of Hajj. I would also like to talk to you about, I would also like to recite Surah Al-Ikhlas. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We want to thank you for presenting that for us, and we have one more little brother who would like to recite his Quran. And I know that he can recite Quran with us.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
My name is Zain Khan. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إنا نستعينك ونستغفرك ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك ونثني إليك الخير ونشكرك ولا نكفرك نخلع ونترك ما يجفرك اللهم إياك نعبد ونحن نصلي ونجد إليك ونستغفر ونعبد ونرزق
I can only say that when I was a child, my parents didn't give me the opportunity to learn Quran, but I was not born Muslim. But I know that I have a lot of work to do. Now I would like to present to you today, this evening rather, an Imam. His name is Raheem Shah. Allahu Akbar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله قال الله تعالى ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون وقال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلغوا عني ولو آية وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام الدنيا خلقت لكم وأنتم خلقتم للآخرة أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear respected brothers and sisters of Islam, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. This is the great blessing and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who brought us here in this happy occasion. And He gave us the faith that we should gather here in one concern. My dear brothers of Islam and sisters, what is the concern of Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and what is the concern of Muslims. As we know and we are hearing from scholars time by time that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala He sent 124,000 prophets to this world. For what purpose? Only for the purpose that the human being becomes successful. And they are able to go to the paradise or the eternal life. And also be succeed in this life and the life of hereafter. Brothers, if we try to study the whole Holy Quran with the tafsir and commentary and also the translation, you will find that hundreds and thousands of the history of previous nations is among us, and Quran is the witness. And why the Holy Quran is give their histories, their story for us, that we should understand the reality. Now everybody, if you ask anybody about something, they will answer you, yes, I know. We know everything about world and worldly things. We know the beneficial of world and worldly things, but we don't know the benefits and the beneficial of the life of Akhirah. Brothers of Islam and sisters, in the Holy Quran, the time of Nuh alayhi salatu salam, as you know that he is called Adam Sani, second grandfather of the human being. Because after Adam alayhi salatu salam, when all the people were astray and they were opposite of the commandments of Allah and the prophets of that time, Nuh alayhi salatu salam, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us in the Holy Quran that those who are the relatives of prophets, I have no concern with them if they are not fear me and they are not obey me and obey the prophet. And also we have to know that the success is not belong with the majority. Because brothers, is in one riwayat, in one narration that 72 people and the other narration is 82 people. At the time of Nuh alayhi salam, they were only the followers. Nuh alayhi salam gave the invitation day and night to the people. He went door to door, he went village to village, he went man and woman. And he invited them towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In 950 years, how many people become Muslim and the followers of Nuh alayhi salam? Just 82 people. Other hands, the majority of the people, they were not obeying the commandments of Allah and the obeying of Nuh alayhi salam. And then the Nuh alayhi salam prayed to Allah and he made a dua. Oh Allah, I give the invitation to these people day and night. I go door to door and I do my best what I could. And now you have to destroy these people. So brother, the majority is being drowned and the minority is 82 people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala succeeded. It is likewise the time of Musa alayhi salatu salam. Musa alayhi salatu salam was a single-handed person with his brother Harun, and the other hand Pharaoh and his armies, almighty forces, and he had all worldly things. But when he did not obey Allah and he did not obey the prophet Moses, he was the prophet of Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala drowned them all in the river Nile. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us that if the people who are not obeyed me, even they have anything of the worldly things, they will not succeed here and in the hereafter. And some of the nation is being faced whose history is in the Holy Quran. that they are so much advanced in agriculture and in the gardens and in the field, that when a person was walking down the trees of the garden with the basket of his head, and he was just near to pass the garden, so his basket was full of fruits without clapping. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also showed us that those people who did not obey the Prophet and me, I also described those people. So the success also not belong with the agriculture and gardens and farmers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also showed us that some of the nations like Qawmi Aad, they were so powerful people, so powerful people. They were the one who were take out the trees of dates by hand and throwing like that. And they were saying, there will be anyone like us who will be powerful like us. They did not obey. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blew the wind for 8 nights and 7 days. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed all of them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also showed us that the success of this life and the life of hereafter is also not belong with those who are power. And brother, this all stories was in the front of another nation. So they tried to build the houses inside in the mountains and the hills. When the Prophet invited them towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they refused. And they said, we know that some people are drowned by water and some people are destroyed by wind. We are making houses inside in the mountains and in the hills, where no wind can come and no water can come. And they were drilling the mountains and they were making houses for themselves. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us that we should understand that an angel came down and he cried once and the hearts of those people are pressed. So brother, one thing is coming in mind, likewise people are asking many questions that what is the way to be successful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has showed us that this is a very simple and easy for us. That we should find the success way, because this is in the Holy Quran. The question is also came and the answer is also came. How to do this? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us that. As I recite in front of you one of the ayah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tu'minuna billah. You are the best nation. Why this nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best nation of all the world? Because for some purpose, for some special purpose. And what is that purpose? We had been given this duty that we should go and call the others, invite to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also do the good deeds by our own. And we will be the believers. Because first thing in Islam is to believe in Allah and Akhirat and all the messengers of Allah and so on. So brothers, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min azabin alim. Oh people, did I show you a good business, a good tijarat, which should protect you and prevent you from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is that business? Tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi. You have to be your yaqeen and your iman and your belief on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also the messengers. وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ. And you should make mujahida, strive with your bodies, with your energies, and with your financial, your money, and that is the best thing for you. So brothers of Islam and sisters of Islam, the thing is that the man is also want to be successful in this life and in the life of hereafter for the eternal life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also want. But now one is, this ummah, we have iman bil ghaib. We didn't see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we didn't see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we didn't see the angels, and we didn't see the Jannat and Jahannam. But we have our iman on those things. So, when we should try to practice upon these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the success to all of us in this life and in the life of hereafter. Which is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and which is the promise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now this gathering, as we know that they are trying to celebrate the anniversary of this masjid, is also a great and blessing occasion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the tawfiq to build this masjid on a very high level. But brothers, the request is that from my side to all of your brothers and sisters, that we have to build this masjid with amal, with the good deeds. If we build a masjid, a very high story building, but if there are no people coming to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's in vain. There is no beneficial. So, how this thing will come to us and how we will adopt this work of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how we will be come in progress and in developing, we should do one duty. What is that duty? Which is on our own shoulders, and which is on the shoulders of all human beings. Either they are men or women, they are old or they are young, they are sick or they are healthy, they are weak or they are strong. So, brothers of Islam, how all these things will come in our life, when we should try to practice in our own, so the children will see us and they will also practice. If we don't have practice, we don't have any actions of Islam by our own, so how can we get expectation from the children and from the women? And brothers, as we know that our sisters and our daughters and our mothers at home, they have also some responsibilities. And we have also some responsibilities. We are not only for ourselves to come to the masjid, and we have Balligh anni walau ayah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you have to convey, even if you know one verse of the Quran. We have to convey this to the others. So, I don't want to take time of your brothers because maybe you have your own program, and I also appreciate that you give me little time, and I had explained something in front of you. But from tonight, if we promise in our own hearts with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the work which is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah and the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we should try to perform their duty. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will succeed us here in this life and in the life of hereafter. As I explained to you, it's not belong with majority and it's not belong with other things. And nowadays, if a question is coming in our mind why the Muslims are in harm every parts of the world. So we are trying to find some track and some way to solve this problem. But we are illiterate from the Holy Quran. What the Holy Quran is trying to show and solve this problem. Now in this time, 5 billion people live in this world, which are 1.3 billion are Muslims in the whole world, and 3.77 billion are non-Muslims. So brothers, the Muslims are only not, now the Muslims they have everything of the world. They have the mineral, they have the oil, they have everything. They have the power. But why they are harming in all surrounding of the world? When we are hearing the Bosnia, when we are hearing the Kashmir, and when we are hearing about any part of the world, any example, why the Muslims are in harm? Because the Muslims are not practicing by their own on the way of Quran and on the way of Hadith. That's why we are hard, we are getting harmed, So the solution of this, first of all, we are brothers. Rasulullah says that Hadith meaning is more or less effective, that all the Muslims are one body. If there is any pain in any part of the body, the whole body is suffering. So the whole body is suffering, and the whole body is trying to prevent that pain from that organ and that part of the body. So in Islam also, I would like to mention that those people who are beginning born in Islam and who are new Muslims, is come the virtue and the purpose of the kalma la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah is that when a person is become Muslim with sincerity and he wants to recite la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wipes all his previous sins, and he is becoming an innocent like a baby from the mother womb. And at this moment, if he dies, he will go straight to the paradise. And there is no way, also Rasulullah sallallahu in the last khutbah, he told that there is no superiority on Arab to the Ajam, and no superiority the white to the black and the white or browns. All are the children of Adam, illa bi taqwa, but those who are pure from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is in our mind, we should try to understand that in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the people are equal. Like once the story is coming in the second empire of the Muslim, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu, he was busy in his government, and he was busy in the masjid. So the one security guard, he came and he said, the Akrama and Khalid bin Walid and the other Sahaba, they came and they want to see you, they have some problems. So he said to the security that be patient and tell those people that I don't have such time, I am busy right now. And when I become free, then I will call them. And in the meantime, Hazrat Bilal Habshi radhiyallahu anhu come to another person, and he was a slave. As we know that he was a slave and he was a black person. But how elevated he was in the eyes of Allah and in the eyes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then when the security guard come to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu, he said, Bilal is standing on the door of masjid and he want to see you. He threw his pen and paper and he came and he start run to him. And other Sahaba, when they saw this occasion, they become surprised and they say, oh Umar, what you are doing? We are the mayor of this city. We are the big people of this city, and you are trying to run towards to the slaves. So Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar said to him that you don't know what is the value of these people in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They came Muslim, they become the believers in the beginning, and they got a lot of efforts for that. They were dragging on the sands, and a big stone was keeping on their chest, And you people are just embrace Islam because there was no way for you. You all might be killed by the believers, or you might be entering Islam. So you are not going to compare with these people. So we, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, that no one is superior on other one except taqwa, except on the fearing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other thing, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Holy Quran, شُعُوبًا وَلِقَبَائِلِ لِتَعَارَفُوا إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِندَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. That I make the tribes among you to understand each other. That this is Ahmad, this is Muhammad, this belongs to this place, this belongs to this place, this belongs to this country, or this belongs to this country. Only inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. In the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who are muttaqi, who are fearing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, alhamdulillah, in this occasion I will request to all of you that if we have firm yaqeen and firm iman, how we will be succeed here in this life and in the life hereafter, only on the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what is that way? In the last khutbah of Hajjatul Wada, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that did I deliver the deen to all of you? The 124,000 Sahaba was sitting in that gathering. So all with one voice they said, O Prophet of Allah, you not only deliver the deen of Allah, but you fulfill the haqq of this deen. And then he put his finger towards sky and he said, Allahumma ashhad, Allahumma ashhad, Allahumma ashhad. Oh Allah, you be the witness, you be the witness, you be the witness that I did my duty. And then he addressed the Sahaba, the companions, the believers, that now this is your responsibility to go to those who are not present here. So brothers, now we are Muslim in America, or in Canada, or in South America, or all around the world. So do you know that this was the sacrifice of those Sahaba, those companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Like how they loved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they were crazy, like they were mad people, like to love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were coming to the Masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam and trying and gazing to the door, that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will come out from his house and we will first see his face. This was the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But they sacrificed that love, and they sacrificed the prayer behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Although we know that one prayer in Masjid Nabawi is rewarded and virtual, like 50,000 prayer, and one prayer in Masjid Haram in Baytullah is like 100,000 virtue, 100,000 reward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to the person. But they sacrifice all those things. Why? That's why we are Muslims now here. If they don't come from their houses and they stay, so now we will be not Muslim. In Africa, I think here may be some African brothers or maybe some Arab brothers also. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided in Surah Nasr, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. Then countries are the countries, nations are the nations, tribes are the tribes is enter in Islam. When Sahaba made that sacrifice. So brothers, if we now made this sacrifice, first of all, the deen will come in our life, and the guidance will come in our life, and the great thing in the treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the guidance. Because if a person is with the guiding and he has the guidance, he has everything. Even if he has nothing, he is not a ruler. Because the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not with those who are the rulers of the world and they will be succeed. If the ruler of the world or the ruler of the America, he has no deen, he is failure in this life and in the life of eternal hereafter. Whatever we are imagining that how much power he has, but he is nothing in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he is not the believers. And on the other hand, that person who has nothing, no worldly things, he is very poor. Even if he has no enough food to be eat, he has no drink to be finish his thirstness, and he died in this situation. But this is the complete promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he is a successful person. So we have to put in our minds that the person who have all the treasure of the world, like we are hearing from scholars that Qarun, he was that much rich person of the world, is being passed, that 100 camels were taking and carrying the keys of the treasure of Qarun. But this is our belief as a Muslim, that he was not a successful person. he is still going down in Jahannam after the day of Qiyamah. So brothers, the success and the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with those who are obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who are following Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not by our own mind, not by our own way. What tariqah is told us by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is the success life. Ashabik al-nujumi, ihtadaytum, ihtadaytum. All the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the Sahaba, they are like stars. Anyone who try to go behind one of them, he will go to succeed. So inshallah, in this masjid, I wish that the brothers will try to give like we are hearing from the scholars, that we have ta'aleem time in our masjid. Because when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is migrated from Makkah to Medina, first of all he built a masjid. And that was not the masjid of bricks and but that was the masjid of leaves and when there was raining, so the raining was falling on the floor. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam built this masjid, and he was the one that when the people were coming to enter in Islam, so there was one group of Sahaba that they were busy all the time teaching and learning. When one tribe from any part of the Arab or any other part of the Africa or Asia, they were coming to enter in Islam, they were teaching them. Like, I will tell you one story that last month I was in Virginia and we were in the path of Allah. So we saw three brothers, the new Muslim brothers. One of the brother whose name was Jamir, he was a white American Muslim and he entered in Islam 3 years ago. But even he doesn't know that what is only he was up and down, he was little bit knows about Surah Fatiha. But he didn't know about Surah Ikhlas or other surah. And he said to the Amir of the Jamaat that when I am going to any scholars, when I am going to any Muslim, he said, I am busy. I don't have such enough time. I will make dua for you. I will pray for you. Brothers, the question is, like, if now, today, all the America is become Muslim, who will teach them? Because Muslims have no time. We don't have time. So as we are created here for the benefits of our wife and 2-3 children, we are created, the Muslims are created for the entire human being. Not for Muslim only, for the entire human being. These responsibilities on our shoulders from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Not أخرجت للقرية, not أخرجت للعرب, not أخرجت للمملكة الواحدة. We are not only for one nation. We are not only for one tribe. We are not only for village. We are not only for our wife and 2-3 children. We are for the human being. So brothers, we have great responsibilities and we have to try. If we try, then we will achieve the goal and destination of our life, which is the purpose and aim of our life. I wish in this masjid, the scholars and the imam, he may try to make a program and he make a tartib and he specifies some time for ta'aleem. The virtue, this is the book which name is Fazail Amal, the virtue of good deeds. Human being is greedy. We are all greedy. If we know the benefits that once when a person is come to Salat, makes Salat in Masjid, he is getting 25 to 27 times rewards. So then we will not try to perform our Salat or offer our Salat in our own houses. And when we are come to know that what is the virtue of zikr, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the paradise have 8 gates. One is specially preserved for those who are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are the zakirin. So when we come to know that what is the virtue of zikr, then I wish that we are our own and our family and children, they will try to achieve this and they will become zakirin. And when we become to know what is the virtue of sincerity. Because whatever good deeds we are doing, only for pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for fame and not for name. And we have to invite the people toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to do this by our own. So for this, we have, if we have inshallah these 6 qualities, so inshallah this will be very easier for us to practice upon the whole day. So I wish the brothers will be inshallah the imam and responsible muazzin, the brothers or the committee of this masjid, they will be inshallah nominate some of the brothers to give daily talim and daily mashwara. Because mashwara and consultation, this is one of the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. When we are working, we have to make mashwara with each other. Either that is belong to worldly things, or either that is belong to the life of hereafter. And that is not for just 10-15 minutes make mashwara. And also ta'aleem brothers. And then we have to make jawla. Like the brothers, I don't know about this brother that he is sick or why he did not come to masjid. So in a week we have to make 2 jawla. We have to visit our Muslim brothers. And we have to ask that why the brother is not come to masjid. Is he busy, or is he sick, or is he has any problem? And we have to try to solve that problem. And how this amal will come in our lives, that we should try to practice upon it by our own. And then brothers, we have to go 3 days in a week, in a month, in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is just, one is the Iman of Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, one is the Imam of Malaika, and one is the Imam of all of us. Iman, the belief and trust of Malaika, that is on one stage, on one level. That is not going up and not coming down. And one is the belief, and one is the Iman of Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, which is day by day and time by time and hour by hour going up, and that is elevating. One is our Iman. Sometimes when we are busy in good deeds, this is elevating. Sometimes when we are doing some bad deeds, so this is decreasing, brothers. And this decreasing and decreasing, and once a time is coming that we are close to be out from the circle of Islam. So, inshallah, these things will come in our life. We should try to practice upon it. And I will once again request to all of you to make this masjid established, inshallah, and also fulfill with the salat and recitation of the Holy Quran, and also with the amal. Allahumma rabbana taqabbal salatana wa ruku'ana wa sujudana. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكون من الخاسرين. ربنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. ربنا إنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكون من الخاسرين. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعله سببا لمن اهتدى. اللهم اهد الناس، اللهم اهد الناس، اللهم اهد الناس، اللهم اهد الناس والجان جميعا. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين انعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن اولئك رفيقا غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One moment, my brothers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now I would like to introduce Alhaji Nasiru from the Nigerian Muslim organization.
Takbir. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah Lazi huwa ahadun as-samadu lam yata'izu walada wa lam yakun lahu sharikun fil mulki wa lam yakun lahu waliyyun min ad-dulli wa kabiru takbira. Subhanahu wa ta'ala ma yushrikun. Inna salata wa sukuni wa maya wa mamata lillahi rabbil alamin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal ladzina amanu أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويولئ لكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنون يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا أنصار الله كما قال عيسى ابن مريم للحواريين من أنصار إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله فآمنت طائفة من بني إسرائيل وكفر طائفتان وخيجنا الذين آمنوا ولا عدو واسبهم صائرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجر عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. قالوا معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم. صدق الله العظيم. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run kó gba ọpẹ́ wa. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run ọba tó dá gbogbo wa. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run ọba tó ṣe pé wàhádùn Ọlọ́run yìí òun nìkan ṣoṣo ni. Pé méjì, pé mẹ́ta, àsámọ́dò. Ní gbogbo ayé ń ronú kàn tọ́lọ́run bá ní rí tọ́lọ́run bá ní bọ́sẹ̀ tọ́lọ́run bá ní kọ́wọ́ mi ó tó lámúyàtà èso wà dáadáa. Ọlọ́run yìí ní ọba àgbọ̀n ọmọ òótọ́ sí òbí mọ ẹnìkan ò lè bí ولم يكن له شريك في الملك olóró nínú ọlá àti ẹ̀ ìsẹ́ráìbà kankan fún nínú ìjọba àti ẹ̀ ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ọlọ́run yìí kò sórogún fún nínú ọlá àti ẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹn wo àwọn ìjọba tayé wọ́n láti gbà yọ̀ǹda lọ́wọ́ ọ̀ra wọn ẹ̀yẹn wo 50th anniversary United Nations kan ṣe President Clinton láti pàdé Yeltsin láti lè sọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹwà o nítorí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bí ẹja ṣe báyìí torí kan ó ní ibi tó ń gbọ́dọ̀ exercise agbára tí wọ́n mọ́ àmọ́ lọ́hùn nìkan ni ò ní consult ẹnì kankan subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushriku ọlọ́run yìí tó bí mímọ́ ọlọ́run ọba tó ga ju gbogbo ń tà ń rò pé ó jẹ́ lọ ló tẹ́bá rò pé bóyá òkè ní ọlọ́run jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tẹ́bá rò pé bóyá igi àràbà kan ní ọlọ́run ìṣẹ́gbẹ́ àràbà kankan iná sọláàtà ẹ̀rí gbogbo ìrun wa fàṣókú ní tí gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ rí tá ń ṣe wà mọ́ ayá wà mọ́ mọ́ ta ayé wa tó kú wa lillahi rabbil alamin gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ lọ́wọ́ bá ní nígbà tí wọ́n pè mí pé màá sọ̀rọ̀ bílẹ̀ ní wọ́n ní kí n sọ fún wa nípa ìrẹ́pọ̀ àti nínú sójú ọ̀nà tọ́lọ̀ èdè tán dẹ̀ ní sọ náà ni mo ń lò yìí ọlọ́run kò fi yé gbogbo wa ṣe gbogbo wa náà kọ́ nǹkan pé kò yé gbogbo wa àwọn à ń ṣe àtúnṣe lẹ́tà tó yà rò pé gbogbo àwọn tó máa wà ń bí la ṣe ṣètò yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ ní bínú sí wa lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ẹ wo àdúgbò àwa tí wọ́n pè ẹ̀wọ̀n ọba àwa tà wà ń bí ọlọ́run lè ṣe àmà wà ń bí àríyá kan lálẹ́ ẹ̀rí bírò àti wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn púpọ̀ náà máa pè síbi tọ́lọ́run ìwọ̀nba àwa tamari náà ní àmọ́ ẹ má bínú tó bá dijọ́ àlèkìyọ́mọ̀ báwa yìí bá wọ àlejò náà tá ara wọn mí ń bẹ̀ bí èèyàn bá lóun fẹ́ lo yàrá mi níjọ́ tọ̀ ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àwọn náà ọlọ́run ọmọ ẹ̀ṣọ́ ọlọ́run ò méré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ò máa wàdà ẹ̀wọ́ iṣẹ́ ọdún kan nìyí òun náà là ń dúpẹ́ lórí ìwọ̀nba àwọn tọ́jú ń ṣe náà rèé àmọ́ kò wá ń ṣiṣẹ́ Imam Suraj nìkan láti máa pe èèyàn ẹ̀yin yìí ẹni ẹ̀ pera yín Ànábì Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ó ní ìgbàgbọ́ èèyàn ò tí ì pé àfi kó fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ fúnra rẹ̀ fún ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ́n láàrin ọdún kan tó ní ká máa kó àwọn ọmọ wá sílé kéwú ẹ̀yin náà ẹ mọ ibi táwọn ọmọ yín lọ nítorí báyìí pé ibi bàdé kan náà ẹ mọ bẹ ti máa múra fún wọn yẹyẹyẹ ẹ mọ ibi táwọn ìyàwó wa máa ń kó wọn lọ níjọ́ Sunday àwa bàbá àṣẹ̀sìn kan ìyá náà ṣẹ̀sìn náà ọmọ lọ́ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó bínú ó free free kú free nìyẹn bẹ́yìn bá ti ń ṣẹ̀sìn àwọn ìyàwó wá láti máa bá wa ṣe àtàwọn ọmọ wa ẹ̀yìn àwọn ọmọ tó kéwú sí yìí àwọn òbí tí wọ́n ti ń jèrè lọ nìyẹn Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa jèrè àkọ́kọ́ báná bí ti gbà wá níyànjú sọ̀rọ̀ pé ká tọ́jú àwọn ká kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa ọ̀nà kan lẹ́rí yẹn. Ẹ̀kejì, nígbà táwọn òbí oyin ò bá sí láyé mọ́ àwọn tó máa jèrè lọ nítorí àwọn ọmọ yìí wọ́n á lè mọ̀ pé ó yẹ káwọn ṣàdúrà fáwọn òbí tiwọn. Ilé tàbádẹ̀ tí ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn tíyàwó ń ṣe tí bàbá àtọmọ ń ṣe ó jẹ́ kó máa lálùbáríkà lọ. Àwọn àtọ́bá wá ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn ìtakúra wa jọ àfi kí ìrẹ́pọ̀ wà láàrin wa. Àfáà yìí mẹ́ṣùn ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, àfáà Alhaji tó sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú mi. Wọ́n ní ká fẹ́ràn ara wa, tá a bá ríra wa ká béèrè. Kọ́nà kó ṣàmùnà wa. Ní Chicago tí mo lọ ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta ago, inú mi dùn, orí mi wú, àmójú mi ò ṣomi. Mo wà impress nítorí ìgbà tí mo dé ṣe ni mo sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé mo lọ sí múra ni. Ìkan lára àwọn búrọ́dà ń bẹ̀ láti ìgbà tó ti kọ́ mọ́ṣáláṣí, á dẹ̀ máa ya ojúlé kọ̀ọ̀kan, á máa gbé wa láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù láti lọ kírun. Àwa ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn torí alẹ́ làwa máa ń pa tiwa bọ̀ ń bí. Ìyẹn ò dáa tó ṣọ́tọ̀ ní ká ṣẹ̀sìn, ọ̀tọ̀ ní ká ṣe bọ́lọ̀ ti fẹ́ ká ṣe. Àfi kí ìrẹ́pọ̀ wà, búrọ́dà yìí kan náà á pe oníkálukú, á máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni máa lọ gbé wọn. Ǹjẹ́ nígbà tí búrọ́dà kan bá ti ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ǹjẹ́ máàmù pàápàá lè sùn gbàgbé? Torí wọn ní jẹ́ kí ìmáàmù sùn gbàgbé. Àwọn náà ń jíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run nìyẹn. Àṣẹ́kọ̀ọ́ iṣẹ́ tó bá kíwú àfáà nìkan kọ́ ló jíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run. Àwa náà ká gbìyànjú báyìí bá ríra yín ẹ béèrè, ẹni tó bá rẹ̀ ká wò ó, ẹni tó bá rẹ̀ ká ṣàdúrà fún, ká fàdúrà ràn wa lọ́wọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti mú ọmọ tí wálé kéwú, ẹgbẹ́ alágbájá náà láyé kó mọ́ ọmọ tiẹ̀ wá. Ọjọ́ táwọn Alhaji ti ń pariwo ẹ má wọn ọmọ yín wá, àfi bí ìgbà tó fi ń bẹ̀rẹ̀. Àwa gẹ̀ẹ́ni wọ́n fẹ́ nù wá pánlẹ̀ kéwú, bàbá ti ń sá náà máa ń tì wá lọ́bẹ̀. Àbẹ́ wa rí ibi tí ayé náà gbà lọ. Àmọ́ torí pé èèyàn mọ yìí ohun tí wọ́n ń pèèyàn fún ni. Ọlọ́run kò ṣàmùnà wa. Ẹni pé ìrẹ́pọ̀ láti wà láàárín wa, a gbọ́dọ̀ pọ̀ jù báyìí lọ. Ẹwà dúró àwa tá à ń gbé Coney Island yìí. Níbi ọ̀sẹ̀ 5 àbí 6 ni mo lọ síbi àríyá kan ní Staten Island. Bẹ́ẹ̀rù ti kún bẹ̀rẹ̀, gbogbo wa dẹ̀ kọ́ là ń gbé Staten Island. Ẹ gbìyànjú wà mọ́ ń jà hádà fàyín nà mọ́ yóò já ìlú náà lè náà fún sí fàyín nà láhà alága ní ànìlà alàmì. Ẹ tó bá gbìyànjú ó gbìyànjú fúnra ara ẹni. Ẹni àwọn ọbẹ̀ ṣe ń gbìyànjú nípa ìgbésí ayé yín èyí tẹ̀ mọ̀ bóyá bọ́ọ̀sì àbí òní bọ́ọ̀sì. Torí làkà àkókò fẹ̀fẹ̀ wà lákan sá káàkiri, bóyá máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí òní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́. Àmọ́ èyí tó jẹ́ dandan, tó jẹ́ ọ̀ranyàn lórí wa, èyí tó jẹ́ ti ikú, àkọ̀dẹ̀ síbẹ̀ yẹn ṣe ń pè bí àfún ikú ni pé àfikún ya ṣètò Ọlọ́run ní gbogbo bó bá ti mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe lọ. Ọlọ́run kó ṣàmùnà wa. Ẹ bá ti ń bọ̀ mọ́ṣáláṣí lọ́la ẹ pé èèyàn ẹ sọ fúnra yín, ẹ̀yin nìkan ẹ má kàn wá ẹ̀ka kan máa gún mọ́tò kiri, mọ́tò báyìí ní lágbájá ń gùn àbí tẹ̀mẹ̀dò, ìyẹn ò dín kankan. Gbogbo eléyìí wàhálà alẹ́ ayé ni. Gbogbo orí tọ́nà ń bá ṣe fún yàn ó dán wò ni, bọ́lá òun ò lè ṣe fún ẹ ó dán ẹ wò ni. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àdúgbò tipátipá ọlẹ́ ànábẹ́ wa mọ̀kànmọ́. Bẹ́yìn bá ti ń bọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà ẹ pera yín, àwọn tẹ̀ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ mọ ibi tó ń lọ níjọ́ Sunday àti ibi tó ń lọ, ẹ̀yin gbìyànjú kẹ́ fà wọ́n kù ń bẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ tọ́ni sọ́nà kan ibi ìgbà tó jẹ́ kó ń lọ ṣe eré náà ni. Ọlọ́run kókó wa wọ́n ṣe. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, Ọlọ́run ni mo pe ẹ̀yin onígbàgbọ́ òdodo, alhadu olókun alátijá tí ẹ jẹ́ tó yín sí ọ̀nà síbi òwò tí yóò gbà yín là tunjikum mina sabin alim níbi ìyà ẹlẹ́ta àtìlérò. Ẹ wo nígbà tí Ọlọ́run bá ń ròyìn ìyà ẹ̀ owó tí ara sọ bíntín ẹlẹ́ta elérò. Ẹ̀yẹ wo bíjọba ayé bá máa fìyà jẹyàn ẹ wo wọ́n ti fi ń jẹyàn. Nígbà United Nations yìí ni mo ń wo orí tẹlifíṣàn ni mo wá rí nígbà tó ń sọ nípa human rights ìlú China. Ṣé gbà ní ọ̀hún yẹn dẹ̀ ní bó bá rèpù yàn ikú ni, bó bá jalè wọ́n á pa ẹ́ ni, wọ́n lè fi wọ́n wá bó ti ń pa á lọ́tọ́. Wọ́n ti dájọ́ ọkú fún wọn, mọ́tò wọ́n gbé wọn gba àárín ọjà, wọ́n dẹ̀ débi tí wọ́n lọ wọ́n kúnlẹ̀ síbẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ yìnbọn fún wọn lórí ẹwọ ẹ̀dá Ọlọ́run, wọ́n dẹ̀ kú bẹ́ẹ̀ right away. Ìjọba táyé nìyẹn. Ẹ wá rí pé tọ́lọ́run á jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nítorí olúwẹ̀ ò ní kú bọ̀rọ̀, èèyàn lè mọ̀ pé ìyà ń jẹun, Ọlọ́run má fi ìyà jẹ wá. Múlẹ̀ lómi a máa wo pé ìyàwó ta ló tẹ̀ ẹ̀dẹ́bẹ̀ rí àbí ta lórí rí àdébẹ̀ rí àmọ́ kánú tíra. Tàbí fi mọ̀ pé òótọ́ ni. Àmọ́ láti lè àfọ́ èdè ìyà yìí, Ọlọ́run ní ẹ jẹ́ ń tọ́ yín sójú ọ̀nà tẹ máa gbà tẹ̀ fi lè débẹ̀. Tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi, ẹ gba Ọlọ́run gbọ́ àti òjíṣẹ́. وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم. Ẹ jagun sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú owó yín àti ẹ̀mí yín. Àwọn tá a ròyìn lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé wọ́n pè èèyàn sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run, wọ́n ń jí lọ gbé èèyàn lé láàárọ̀ láti wá kírun. Ọlọ́run lóòótọ́ àwọn tó ń jagun pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí wọn nìyẹn. Wọ́n náwó sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run ẹ̀wọ̀ wàláhì wọ́n ti ń ṣe ní Chicago nìyẹn, torí àjọ lọ Mẹ́kà ni gbogbo shopping tó ń ṣe tó ń fẹ́ fi mọ́ṣáláṣí ló ń rà. Ìgbé tabafẹ́lẹ́ sí ẹ̀kọ́lé tabafẹ́lẹ́ sí. Àṣẹ kò ń ṣeré ìgbàtà dẹ̀ débi àárín tó ń rà lóòótọ́ pé bẹ̀ lọ́ra sí. Wọ́n náwó sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run yẹn. Ẹ̀yin ẹwọ́ bá ti ń tolé ti wá ilé ta máa fi ilẹ̀ ńjọ́ kan, ẹ̀yin ẹwọ́ lé Ọlọ́run bó ti rí. Ẹ má ṣàwọn síra yín, ẹ má ṣàwọn sọ́lọ́run. Torí ẹlòmí àní àtúntò ibi kan lòun ti rówó tó ń bá lọ sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run kò sí ládàá bẹ́ẹ̀. Kí ló fún ẹ láì ó jẹ́ yọ t'Ọlọ́run kó ń bẹ̀ náà, bóyá wà á jẹ́ jèrè. Ẹ náwó yín sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run, ẹ jagun sójú ọ̀nà t'Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú owó yín àti ẹ̀mí yín. Zalikum khairun lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Eléyìí ló dára jù fún yín tó bá yẹ pé ẹ̀yin mọ̀ ni. Ṣé Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ sọ nínú àyà kan ní bismillahir rahmanir rahim, inna arsalna ilaykum rasulan shahidan alaykum kama arsalna ila fir'auna rasulan. A rán àwọn òjíṣẹ́ wa sí yín láti jẹ́ olùjẹ́rìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti rán ànábì Musa ní sàrádọ́sá sí Fíráúnà. Àwa tá ti ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ láti ẹ̀kan òjíṣẹ́ làwa náà, a lè jọ wọ ṣẹ́ẹ̀tì bákan náà, a gbọ́dọ̀ yàtọ̀ sí yín. Torí tó bá yẹ pé àlejò lèmi ni kò sí nínú yín tá a dúró gbọ́rọ̀ mi. Tó bá yẹ pé ìwo mẹ́rin ló wà lórí mi ni mo lè jókòó wájú yín, àbẹ̀bí tí ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo bá jọ pé kémi lè yàtọ̀ sí yín, gbogbo wa ò bá ti sá lọ. Àmọ́ láti jẹ́ bákan náà kọ́rọ̀ wa lè yéra wa. Wa aqimi salata wa atu zakata. akimi salata ekimu wa atu sakata kenyo saka wa kerido laha koridona asana enno nínú tí Ọlọ́run yóò fún yín wa ma tuqaddimu li anfusikum min khairin èyí tẹ́ bá ṣe síwájú lóore lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run tajidu indallahi huwa khairun ẹ̀sùn ẹ̀ wà fún yín lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ju èyí tẹ́ yìí ṣe lọ wastaghfirullaha inna Allaha ghafurur rahim ẹ tọrọ àforíjì lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọlọ́run lọ́ba aláforíjì Ọlọ́run wá ní mọ̀sálù ladina yunfikuna amwalahum fi sabilillahi ẹ̀rí àpẹẹrẹ àwọn tó ń ná owó wọn sójú ọ̀nà tọlọ́run ọba kámasálẹ̀ hábà tí yàn bàtà tí ń sábà sànà bílẹ̀ ó dàbí ẹni tó mú irúgbìn kan tó fi sílẹ̀ finkule singulati no habati tí ẹyọkan yẹn wá yọ 100 kámasálẹ̀ hábà tí yàn bàtà tí ń sábà sànà bílẹ̀ finkule singulati ni yàtọ̀ habati wallahu yudaifu liman yasha'u wallahu wasi'un alim tí àgbàdo ẹyọ kan tó wáyọ 100 nínú 100 kan nínú ìkọ̀ọ̀kan 100 méje ló wà ń bẹ̀ wallahu yudaifu liman yasha'u Ọlọ́run a máa ṣe dáadáa a máa jẹ́ àdìpẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀san fẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ wallahu wasi'un alim ó dẹ̀ mọ ohun tó tọ́ sórí kálukú pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀ alladhina yunfikuna amwalahum fi sabilillahi ẹ̀rọ àwọn tó ná ojú owó wọn sójú ọ̀nà tọ́lọ́run súnmọ̀ láyé tí bèèrú nà mọ́ fàkú mọ́nà wà láàádá lẹ́yìn náà tí wọn kábàámọ̀ ayé pé àwọn ọba ti máa nà tó báyìí alladhina yunfikuna amwalahum fi sabilillahi súnmọ̀ láyé tí bèèrú nà mọ́ fàkú mọ́nà wà láàádá làwọn ajrun inda rabbihim wala huwa alayhi wala hum yahzanun torí gbà lọ́wọ́ pé Alhaji ní sí yóò tẹ̀tẹ̀ máa ń ṣe 500 ló gbélé ó wá mú owó rẹ́ǹtì ẹ ìwọ náà bá bínú gbélé pé a mú láti sanwó jà Alhaji ní sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nígbà tó wá délé wà pé ká tẹ̀mí ọba má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o ìyẹn ò dá àmọ́ wọn tí èèyàn bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó gbìyànjú pé alágbádá ló ṣe báyìí kémi náà ṣe rú ẹ̀ wallahu yudaifu liman yasha'u wallahu náà wallahu wasi'un alim Ọlọ́run ẹ̀san tó tọ́ sí oníkálukú àwọn ilé yìí ni àwọn tó jèrè tó bá dijọ́ ògbéde àlẹ́kẹ́rẹ́mọ̀ kò sí ìjayà fún wọn sì ní rí ìbànújẹ́ rárá qalu ma'rufun wa maghfiratun khayrun min sadaqatin yatba'uha wallahu ganiyyun alim ẹ̀rí kéèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ rere Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wọn ṣe ó dájú sàárà àti ìnira tẹ̀lé lọ ó ṣe sàárà àtọ́ wá ń lọ mu gàrí ńlé ebi ń pa ìyàwó àtọmọ ẹ̀ta ló rán iṣẹ́ wallahu ganiyyun alim Ọlọ́run rọ ọ̀rọ̀ tayọ owó àwọ̀ ẹ̀dá kò ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ fún gbogbo ṣe torí láti lè fún àwọn tí wọn gbọ́ èdè mi ní àǹfààní màá dún bí wọ́n lè ṣàlàyé tí mo wí fún wọn Ọlọ́run kó gbàdúrà wa Ọlọ́run kó mójútó wa pàápàá jùlọ àwọn bróda tó kù àwọn elédè tó kù wọ́n fẹ́ gbólóhùn gbójú wa lọ àwa àfáà yìí nìkan la gbólóhùn gbójú ìjókòó lọ. àgbèrè ní dédé kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú wa ẹ̀wọ̀ àwọn dúró wọ́n gbìyànjú níwọ̀nba tí wọ́n àwa yìí náà amúra wa àdèmọ́bi láti máa ń pàdé a kì í fi bẹ́ẹ̀ pàdé níbi tó lọ́hùn àfi kó jẹ́ pé bóyá àbílọ́ǹgì síbẹ̀ wọ́n bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe ìbọn níbi ìkan sìn yín ibi yẹn ti jìnnà jù bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ẹ gbìyànjú ẹ débẹ̀ ẹ ṣe wọn bá tọ́nà bá ràn yín lọ́n kó bá ṣe rí wa lánàá lọ́wọ́ láyé àti ìyá.
We thank Brother Nasiru for this inspiring message that he has given to us. Inshallah, before we continue with the program, and I would like to translate all what the brothers have said, but before we do that, we would like to fulfill the obligatory of Allah. So we are going to make Salat al-Isha, inshallah. Then please, brothers, be a little bit patient so that we can have a full barakah of this gathering tonight. Inshallah, let us go and make wudu, and inshallah we pray Salat al-Isha, then we conclude, inshallah, the gathering and the commemoration, inshallah. Let's go make some wudu.
I would like to have those people who are in the rear of the masjid to please come forward. We're about to conclude our service.
My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I greet you one more time with a greeting of those people who will enter paradise, with a greeting that is peculiar with Muslims, saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, when I look before me tonight, I saw a very little number of people. A very little number. And I'm not surprised at that, because Almighty Allah has already mentioned when he was talking about those people that will gain entrance to the paradise. Almighty Allah said, Sullatu min al-akhirin, Sullatu min al-awwalin, wa qalilu min al-akhirin. Little numbers among those who came later, and large number from those who were there before them. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because whenever you come into the cause of Almighty Allah, it is few number that's always answer the call. And Almighty Allah has already mentioned that again in another verse. وَكَمْ فِيَةٍ قَلِيلَةٍ وَغَلَبَةٍ فِيَةٍ كَثِيرَةٍ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. How many little numbers, how many minority of people, how many little of people among those that create the creation of Almighty Allah, how many number that will answer the call of Almighty Allah, other than few of them. And Almighty Allah, with His power and His mercy, will make this minority to overpower and to overcome the majority. With the power of Almighty Allah. And because not every human being that Almighty Allah created will gain the entrance to the paradise, except those few people that answer the call of Almighty Allah. And the call of Almighty Allah, brothers, is very simple. The call of Almighty Allah is an opportunity. It's not a privilege, it's an opportunity. Not many people will gain this opportunity. It is very little number of people, because Almighty Allah has already mentioned that. And those who will gain it, who are those who spend from their means, those who spend their time, those who strive mentally, physically, in order to make sure that the cause of Almighty Allah is being helped. Those are the people that Almighty Allah will give the opportunity of entrance into the paradise. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today we are commemorating the first year anniversary of the establishment of this masjid, and at the same time we are offering, we are telling you, we are advising you about the opportunity that Almighty Allah gives, which everybody is not going to have except few people. I'm seizing this opportunity to advertise a business to you, brothers. A business in which if you involve, you will benefit from it when you are alive, and you will benefit from it after your death. And who is the advertiser? The advertiser, brothers and sisters in Islam, is Almighty Allah. Almighty Allah mentioned in Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min azabin alim, tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi wa tujahiduna fi sabilillahi bi amwalikum wa anfusikum, dhalikum khairul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Almighty Allah said, may I guide you, may I advise you about a business in which, if you involve, that will prevent you from a terrible penalty in the day of judgment. Allah is the advertiser. Is advertising to us a business that is beautiful, a business of magnificent reward, a business that will last, everlasting business that will last in this life and the life thereafter. And what is the business, brother? Tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi, is to believe in Almighty Allah. وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ, and to strive in the cause of Almighty Allah, بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ, with your money, your belongings, your time, your work, whatever Almighty Allah give you, because amwal is not only money, it's belongings, properties, whatever you have, whatever you are given. وَأَنفُسِكُمْ, and your own very self, your own very soul. Strive in the cause of Allah with your own very soul. Brothers, what we're doing tonight is to strive in the cause of Almighty Allah with our personality and with our soul. And I thank Almighty Allah for those of you who are here tonight, because not everybody will be able to gain from the barakah except those who are chosen by Almighty Allah. وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ, strive in the cause of Almighty Allah. Brothers, if Almighty Allah gives you an opportunity, it is very essential that you strive in order to gain this opportunity and try to be part of this opportunity before the opportunity slipped out of your hand. And this kind of business that Almighty Allah is inviting us to is the business that will be everlasting, is the business that will never, one will never fail, and you will never run at loss. The business is what Almighty Allah is calling you to, because the money that Almighty Allah gives to you, He put it in your own care, not because you are smart. Not because you are better than your others, but simply because Almighty Allah wants to test you. Simply because Almighty Allah wants to give you an opportunity. Maybe you will seize the opportunity and spend the money into the cause of Almighty Allah. And this is the cause of Almighty Allah. We all know how beautiful our house is. We all know what kind of rod we put in our house. We all know all the furniture that we beautify our house with. And all these things are vanished upon vanish. One day you will die. They will throw you out of that house without even giving you a single consideration, because you are a mess. You're going to be stinking very shortly. So they take you out. They take you out. I give you in the cause of Almighty Allah. I'm now asking you, brothers, please give whatever Almighty Allah bless you with, so that Almighty Allah can double it into your interest. I know for sure not many of us come here with a large sum of money. I know some of us may not even realize exactly what we're coming here for. As a result, they did not bring a lot with them. But whatever you bring, and inshallah, you can pledge to us. You can buy a little share from the opportunity of Almighty Allah. And remember, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man bana lillahi baytan, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil jannah." Whoever build a house for Almighty Allah in this world, Almighty Allah will build a beautiful house for him in the paradise, in the garden of eternity. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, invest as much as you can. Gain the opportunity as beautiful as you can. Give a beautiful loan to Almighty Allah to buy an interest in a policy insurance that will never deal. Because all those insurance that we buy in this life will sometimes deal. Either we like it or not, when you die, your son wants to claim the money. They don't want to give it to him because their expectation is for you to die so that they can inherit your money. But Almighty Allah giving us the opportunity, then He promised us a magnificent reward, a beautiful reward in the garden of eternity. So brothers, I will have some few people among the management to please go around and collect whatever our Muslim brothers and sisters can give to Almighty Allah. And whoever want to make a pledge, my dear brother is there, Brother Abdul Hakim is there to take numbers, telephone numbers, where we can contact you. If you know that you want to invest in the house of Allah, the kind of investment that will last you as long as you are living, the investment that will be with you when you die, the investment that will prevent you from a severe punishment of Almighty Allah in the day of judgment. This is my appeal to you, brothers and sisters. This is my advertisement to you, brothers and sisters. And I hope and believe that our brothers and sisters in Islam, I believe you will do as much as you can, because I know it is faith in Almighty Allah that brought you here tonight. It is the love that you have for Almighty Allah that make you to come over here tonight. So contribute in the cause of Almighty Allah. Buy a house for Almighty Allah. Invest in the investment that Almighty Allah is the investor. The kind of investment that will never run at loss. The kind of investment that you will benefit, your family will benefit, and you will benefit till the day of judgment. The kind of investment that will never make you feel regret in your life. This is the kind of investment that we're calling you for. This is the call that we're making to you. This is an appeal that we're doing to you. We are giving you the opportunity of Almighty Allah. Accept that opportunity before it slips out of your mind. Accept the opportunity before it slips out of your head. Accept the opportunity before Almighty Allah give it to some other people. And my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, as I will conclude this little word, I would like to make mention of very important thing. Almighty Allah has made this masjid to be a very unique masjid, and unique in terms of demonstration of what Almighty Allah created human being because of. He has made a lot of brothers and sisters from different background, from different ethnicity, from different nationality. They come together in this masjid and form a masjid that is universal. To form a masjid that has no consideration for color or race. And this is the kind of brotherhood that Islam has called us to. Please, in the name of Almighty Allah, give the message about this masjid to some other people that are not aware of the masjid. Give the message of this masjid to people who are known, living in this community, and they are not aware of this masjid. Imam cannot only do it. It is beyond the power of Imam to go everywhere. It is beyond the power of Imam to talk to everybody. But with your reach, with your spread on the heart, and talking to people and making them aware of the masjid, this would be your own contribution in the striveness to the cause of Almighty Allah. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, at the same time I'm reminding you, anybody who want to be a member of this masjid and want to pledge for us something in order that we establish a bigger masjid than this, where we can have a school, where we can have all those things that will benefit our community. Because those who are foreigners among us, we think that we are going home next year, after next year, next year, after next year. But Almighty Allah knows when are we leaving. Almighty Allah knows if we are going to leave at all. Almighty Allah knows. If this place is where Almighty Allah has already destined to be our home. But in order to raise our children in the right way, in order to give our children Islamic knowledge, you have seen the fruit of this of the weekend class that we only gave for two months. We started with those young kids only for 2 months. Every weekend, 2 hours every weekend, and you can see their performance. When they first came, their tongue was so thick that I was afraid, are they going to learn anything? Their tongue was so strict that I was thinking, are these kids are going to learn anything? But Amda wa Shukrullah, with the intention and with the passiveness, we made it. And you can see, you can hear them when they read Al-Quran beautifully. This is why we established this masjid. And this is why we call for people to bring their children so that we can teach them, because we are so busy, we have a lot of things to do. But for some those who live their life in the sake of Almighty Allah to teach our children, let us answer the call. Let us bring our children, those of us who have children, and those who doesn't have children, let us inform our friends that have children to bring forth their children to learn about Islam, to learn about knowledge that will benefit them in this life and the day thereafter. To a knowledge that will prevent them from those things that you can never prevent them from. Because you can talk to them about the drug, you can talk to them about gambling, you can talk to them about whatever is happening in our society today, but you can never follow them to everywhere they're going. But this is the knowledge that when you instill into their mind, the knowledge will be following them all around, and Almighty Allah will stay with them. Almighty Allah will prevent them from falling into all these things. Because Almighty Allah have already said, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلَ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسِبُهُ. Whoever depend on Almighty Allah and put his trust in Almighty Allah will deliver him. So let us put our trust in Almighty Allah. Let us instill a good knowledge in the mind of our children, so that Almighty Allah can guide them, so that Almighty Allah can prevent them from the evilish occurrence that is happening around our society today. And this is my conclusion. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother Ade, would you please come up? We would like for you to give a vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm deeply touched this evening with this gathering, even though there was a lot that were called, but little showed up. But the few that showed up makes a difference. And the difference is, a year ago today, a few people gathered up and called me and said, "Brother Ade, we are tired of going all around. We would like to see if we could have our own masjid. So we're close by rather than running in traffic. And by the time we get there, the Jumat is over. Well, I would like to go in there for Salat because I can't reach because the traffic is hectic on my way back or my way down there. So we decided a year ago today that, inshallah, with God's help and power, it could be done. And his name today, we thank thee to him, and today he has blessed us with this beautiful masjid. Inshallah, we pray in his power that we continue to grow and continue to have a deep friendship, brotherly, sisterly relationship, whereby we all today, in another year and another year to come, we see ourselves owning the masjid or owning another masjid in which we could buy together. And I will cut it, will be very short because I'm not a very confrontation person. And I would like to thank Almighty Allah for giving us a beautiful person, Imam Suraj Abu Bakar. He's been a very beautiful person to us, in which we sent out for a call and he answered it without hesitation. And we thank you today that he's still with us. May God Almighty Allah be with him all his way and his deeds, and with time and health for him to continue to answer our call. And also, thanks to Alhaji Imam Yahaya for also being participant in every step that we take in this masjid was given to us by Almighty Allah, because this masjid in its actual sense was Almighty Allah's will, because there's quite a bit of story behind the masjid when we came into it. I don't know if that is an appropriate time to tell you every piece and pieces of how the masjid was today, Masjid Bab-Us-Salam. But whatever the course we have went to, we thank Almighty Allah for blessing us with it. And Brother Nasiru of the Nigerian Muslim Society, thank him very much for being able to share with us his knowledge and wisdom. And my brother Yahaya from Chicago, which is one blessing again for someone again to fly down here just to see us do all this. Thanks to him, and may Almighty Allah be with every one of us on our doing. And also again, Imam Salahuddin. Imam Raheem Shah for taking his time and being with us.
It's from Pakistan.
From Pakistan. We appreciate, we're very grateful and honored for this present. May Almighty Allah share His blessing upon us and him and every one of us and our family. Assalamu alaikum.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا هدانا الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم رب السماوات والأرض ورب العرش العظيم. اللهم رب السماوات والأرض ورب العرش العظيم. اللهم أنت الأول فليس قبلك شيء وأنت الآخر فليس بعدك شيء وأنت الظاهر فليس فوقك شيء وأنت الباطن فليس دونك شيء. اكبرنا ديننا واغننا من الفقر يا الله يا الله يا الله. اللهم نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع وتشبه لا وعلم لا تشبه ودعوة لا يستجاب لا يا رب العالمين. اللهم نسألك علما دائما. اللهم نسألك قلبا خاشيا. اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا واكرمنا ولا تهنا واثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى صحب سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. اللهم سلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا واغفر لنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا واغفر لنا وادخلنا جنتك يا رب العالمين وادخلنا جنتك يا رب العالمين ونجنا من النار يا الله. اللهم قاتل كفارة الذين يكذبون رسلك ويصدون عن سبيلك واجعل عليهم رجزك وعذابك يا الله يا الله يا الله. اللهم آت النفس تقواها وزكاها وأنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم آت النفس تقواها وزكاها وأنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم آت النفس تقواها وزكاها وأنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم لك الحمد بما خلقتنا ورزقتنا وهديتنا وعلمتنا وانقذتنا وفرجت عنا. ولك الحمد بالإسلام ولك الحمد بالإيمان ولك الحمد بالقرآن ولك الحمد بالإيمان والمعافات والعلم والمعافات يا رب العالمين والعلم والمعافات واحسنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اكب عنا حاجاتنا اللهم ترضانا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اعف عنا ذنوبنا وارحمنا يا الله يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا رحيم يا مليك يا مليك يا قدوس يا سلام سلمنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم تنزلا ومنك السلام وإليك يرجع السلام. فأحينا ربنا بالسلام وادخلنا جنتك دارك دار السلام. تباركت ربنا وتعالى يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا خطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واعف عنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا واغفر لنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم إنك من تدخل النار فقد خزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي الإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وآتنا على ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. يا الله وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعين المسلمين وتوفنا المسلمين. اللهم أعين المسلمين وتوفنا المسلمين. اللهم أعين المسلمين وتوفنا المسلمين. اللهم نسألك الدرجة الأولى يا رب العالمين. اللهم نسألك خير الدرجات وخير النجاة وخير الثواب وخير الثواب. وثبتنا وثقل موازنا وارفع درجاتنا وتقبل صلاتنا واغفر خطيئاتنا يا رب العالمين. ونسألك الدرجة الأولى من الجنة آمين. اللهم نسألك فواتح الخير وجوامعه وأوقاته وأوله وآخره وظاهره وباطنه. ونسألك الدرجة الأولى من الجنة آمين. ربنا أنزل علينا من السماء مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيد الأولين وآخرين وآية منك وارزقنا وأنت خير الرازقين. ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا المتقين إماما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
My brothers, we have just concluded our service. You may go to the rear and indulge in eating. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.